Hey folks, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you're watching this video, this is Doug with News and Views by Doug. Today is Wednesday, June 10th, and like I had said yesterday, all hell's breaking around the world. So it was announced yesterday that Iran had knocked down one of the Apache helicopters in the Strait of Hormuz. So the U.S. has finally taken off the gloves and started hitting them pretty hard. Also, I'm going to show you a video where the U.S. hit a Palau flagged oil tanker off of Oman, and now they're saying that there was some casualties on the ship.
So right here, this is the ship attempting to get through the blockade, and then boom, right there. Direct hit, clean hit. That is a massive blast, and there is the ship smoking and on fire. It looks like it, right in the rear of the ship, blasting a gaping hole in it. And again, we have reports of casualties in this.
But you try to run the blockade, and you're going to pay the price. Now, the big topic of the day, at least for me, is Europe has just been invaded by immigrants, mostly illegal, from Africa and the Middle East. And just like here in the United States, instead of assimilating into our culture, they're trying to take over all of Europe. And the Europeans are pissed, and they've started fighting back. So in Sweden and Germany, where they took in large numbers of these immigrants, refugees, they're now kicking them out. They're forcing them out. England, the citizens have finally started rising up, and they're pissed. France has been completely taken over by the immigrants, as well as Spain is being taken over. Italy's being taken over. And the political leaders are sitting there going, what are we going to do? Poland and Hungary never allowed this. They didn't let these people in. And guess who the most peaceful countries in Europe are right now? Poland and Hungary. So one thing that happened yesterday, and Belfast in Northern Ireland is burning. They have a bunch of illegal immigrants, and basically the way it was explained is these immigrants are coming from Africa, they're coming from the Middle East. They go through Paris because Paris apparently, or the French have an open door. They then fly into Ireland, into Dublin. And then they sneak their way up to Northern Ireland, which is English. And when they hit the border, they tell them, "Oh, we're fleeing, hatred, and we're scared for our lives, and we need, asylum." And the U.S. has a policy that if you go through one or two countries that are considered safe, and you don't ask for asylum there, you're not going to get asylum here. Well, the other night, an English citizen of Irish descent, he's special needs. He has a lot of issues. He already had issues, and he was attacked by an illegal Sudanese male. And they don't know the reason for the attack. But the Sudanese male, when the videos caught up with him, he was on top of the victim, stabbing him, and as witnesses described, it looked like he was trying to behead the man with a small tool knife.
He's not. Yeah. Get off it. Get him.
Come on. Get him down. Let him go die. Yes. Yes. Stand up. Stand up.
There's your cop. There's your cop. Back off. Back off. Back off.
Right.
No.
He's trying to put his hand on it.
He's trying to pull his arm off. He's just walking here. He's just getting retired.
This man.
And citizens jumped in, and they tried to stop him, and he seriously injured this male. The victim lost one of his eyes. The other one's heavily damaged. There's deep cuts to his face and throat, and he's in really bad shape. The police were able to get this guy into custody. And apparently, when he went to court, he threatened people in court, saying he was going to kill them. He had gone to the hospital and threatened people that he was going to kill them in the hospital.
Shared worldwide. There is no downplaying the horror of what unfolded. The victim pinned to the ground while being repeatedly stabbed about his face and neck. It was witnesses who described it as a near beheading. The victim, now identified as 41-year-old Stephen Ogilvy. During a court hearing today, it was revealed he lost his left eye and suffered severe damage to his right eye as well, deep cuts to his face and lacerations to his back.
And, you know, what's England going to do? The United Kingdom, what are they going to do? Probably not a whole lot. But the Irish citizens, or I'm sorry, again, I keep calling them Irish because it's Northern Ireland. But the citizens are pissed. And last night they started rioting. They started going after the neighborhoods where the immigrants live. They started burning cars and buses.
Those organising these protests claim they're doing so to protect communities. In fact, they're doing the very opposite. They are damaging communities and hurting. Nothing can justify the violence that we saw on the streets of Northern Ireland last night with masked.
Go ahead. Show the rest of the country now on social media. Okay? Woo! Responders behind the rest of the country. Yay! Woo!
And are starting to get extremely violent. They want them out. From everything I've seen, you've got these groups of men, especially from Pakistan, and they call them groomers, where they go after the young girls from the United Kingdom, and they try to, get them to use them, young girls. We're talking 12, 11 years old, and they try to use these girls for sex. And the English have just had enough of this crap. So here's the biggest problem. That immigrant shit is coming this way. They won't assimilate in the United States. They don't even try. And it's going to get bad. It's going to get much worse before it can get better. And I see many things happening. It's going to be an us versus them type thing. And will our politicians, will they jump in? Will law enforcement jump in? I don't know, folks. It's getting bad. Please, folks, the world's burning. So please take care of yourselves. Be safe. Protect your family and friends. Keep an eye out, be aware of your surroundings, and I wish you peace. Good luck with that. You take care.